Hey guys, Time Lord Rowan here. Yeah, I'm gonna be reviewing She-Ra and the Princess of Power. One thing I want to say before I start is just I have not seen like any of this series at all. I haven't seen the movies. I haven't seen the '80s cartoons. I know next to nothing about She-Ra and He-Man and all that sort of stuff. So I went in completely blind. Really, all I thought of it was this.
Fabulous secrets were revealed to me the day I held aloft my sword and said, "For the honor of Grayskull!"
So, yeah. Also, I'm really not the target audience as well. So, yeah. That's another thing. So, take all my criticisms with a grain of salt, perhaps. Or maybe several heapings of salt until you die of heart failure, because, yeah, again, I will be nitpicking a lot of things. Overall, I did really like it. It was good. It, sorry, it re-established the, the world and stuff, and it explained it to a new audience, which was me. Which I think it did a really good job at it. It established that this is how the world worked. There are the princesses, there's the horde, there's old one, that first ones, ancient ones, something like that. No, I can't remember it that well. I think it was the first ones. Yeah, there were these original beings and stuff. Yeah, that was all very good. It reminds me a lot of Steven Universe, which is a show that I'm quite fond of. Like, the writing went kaput when it went to the fourth season, I think. But overall, I did really like Steven Universe. And I say that, by that I mean, the similar to Steven Universe in just the theming and the ideas presented and the philosophy and stuff. It's very similar. Okay, I'll get into some more criticisms. So in the first episode, Adora, she escapes the Horde, and she finds Glimmer and Bow. And then she suddenly teams up with them and becomes, a warrior rebel princess. What? That really struck me as just being way too quick. It was like, snap of fingers, I guess she saw the Horde ravaging, one village or something, but I don't know, I feel like there would have been, 16 years of brainwashing and, you know, training them into thinking the way that the Horde wants her to think. So for her to just turn on them like that seems very unlikely, because she was raised in that environment. She was raised being told that the Horde were the good guys. So that seemed to happen too quickly. I felt like, her turning good and realizing the Horde being evil. I feel like that could have been like a season's character arc. So, yeah, could you even call it a character arc? Or, I don't know, that felt very weird, especially because she was Shadow Weaver's favorite or something. So, she was obviously very popular and stuff, and treated well. So, I don't see uh, how she could just so easily just turn to good. Which was weird. I really like Catra as well. Her relationship with um, Adora was it's very complex, and it felt very real as well. The anger at the betrayal and how that can, and how she mistook it for abandoning her personally when it was more, Adora leaving the Horde and stuff, and her complex feelings, and especially how later on in the season, Adora tries to talk to Catra and get her to understand, I never wanted to hurt you and stuff like that, but it only makes her worse and stuff. I felt that Catra was a very strongly written character. It was good. It was a highlight of the show. especially in episode 11. And that was the one where they're in the first one temple, and you see flashbacks from the past or anything, and everything. That was really good and added a lot more depth to their relationship, because up until that point I felt that Adora was kind of flat, to be honest. So yeah, getting her to have a rapport with Catra, I think that added a lot of needed something to her character. Like, there was character, but there wasn't much development and struggle and stuff. It was, I know, like, it comes back to what I said earlier, how in the first couple of episodes, how easily she turned good. I felt like that could have been a wasted character arc. So seeing them bring in a new character arc and giving more to Adora, that felt like it was a good thing to do as well. Some of the writing was kind of average though, like especially with the bad guys like Lord Hordak and Shadow Weaver. It felt very like Saturday morning cartoon cheesy, which I suppose that's what the original He-Man and She-Ra was, but I don't know. Something about that struck me the wrong way. That could just be my opinion, because like I'm not good at dissecting like literature and good writing and stuff, so that could just be my mistake though. Entraptor, she started helping the Horde. That was stupid. Like, I know they needed to find some reason to get the Horde to be able to like hack the system and stuff, but I feel like that kind of undermines Entraptor's character. Like, yes, she was kind of out there and focused on the technology and stuff, but to the point where she doesn't realize she's helping the bad guys, and she just thinks that like, oh, I'm just doing the technology stuff. That felt really stupid. Like, I don't know why they did that. Yeah. Furthermore, the idea of hacking Etheria, that very much came out of nowhere as well. Like, that wasn't built up at anything. It was just suddenly like sprung upon us. Like, oh yeah, Etheria's a computer planet. Let's hack it. And I know it kind of came out of nowhere. I felt like that, and that's a running thing with my problems with this, that things happen too quickly and they're not built up enough. So I think the seasons need to be longer to build up the ideas more. But looking at season 2, it's only 7 episodes, which is something. So focusing more on Glimmer, her drama was terrible. Like, it was just unnecessary things. Like, the two examples that I'm talking about are when she went to the princess ball and she was like jealous of Bo because he brought Perfumer. What? Like, I didn't need bloody like teenage high school musical freaking drama about stuff like that. I, I don't want to watch that. Like, it's been done to death, and even then, I feel like the characters are better than that as well. And the other thing was when she was glitching. That's the word. When she was like glitching out and stuff, and her powers weren't working and stuff. When she just wouldn't tell her mother. Like, why? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I suppose it can be like stupid teenager lack of judgment or something, but I don't want to watch that. Like, I don't know. It really felt like I was just screaming at the screen, like, "Oh my God! Tell your mother, she will help." Jesus Christ! Like, I don't know. Yeah. Uh, so going to the finale. So I watched this about 3 minutes ago, as of recording. Um, so yeah, it's still sort of fresh in my mind. So I was under the impression that it was gonna, that the whole thing was gonna fail, and that the Horde was gonna attack and just completely win, and it was gonna be like a sort of dark failure ending, almost like the Day of Black Sun from Avatar, and then in the next season they're going to recover from that and fight back and stuff. But then the princesses came and saved the day out of nowhere. That keeps reoccurring, that things keep happening without ever being brought up before. So, and like, I don't mind it having a happy ending to the season, but I just felt like when it's going down a dark path, and being dark and making the good guys lose is the path that you're taking, for them to just diverge and make the princess come out of nowhere, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't flow. I suppose if they wanted to have a happy ending and make the princess take over, they should have made it like made it a two-parter, and then where it has the main plot of the Horde attacking attacking Bright Moon. Is that what it's called? God, I don't know. I hope so. Attacking Bright Moon, and then there's a B plot, and it's the princesses, and they're all like going, what should we do? And they're all like stressing out, wondering whether they should. I don't know. Just something more. Develop. Show the princesses. Show how they're considering coming to fight and stuff like that. Just because when they came out of nowhere, I guess it was supposed to be like, oh, what a surprise, but no, it didn't really work. It didn't really work for me. Yeah. Finally, this is more superficial, but I've seen a lot of people complain and talk about it and stuff. But I really like the character designs. Like, redesigning the characters was a really good thing in my opinion. Yeah, and they all looked great. Like, a lot of people were complaining about She-Ra's costume, and I liked it. I thought it worked really well. Okay, Rowan from the future here. After recording my review, I went and watched the review of Season 1 from the Council of Geeks YouTube channel. And Vera, the person who presents it, the person who presents it, made a really good point about the character redesign, so I'll just play her clip now.
So again, the changes, there's a lot of good, smart calls. I really like the character redesigns. Yeah, and I don't mean that in terms of costumes. I mean in terms of the literal designs of the characters. For one thing, they're a heck of a lot more distinct from each other than they used to be. I think a really good way to emphasize this is, let's just do a quick comparison. Here is an image from the original cartoon of Catra and Scorpia. You may notice that they have the exact same body type and facial structure, which is a result from the fact that when they were making the toy that these characters are based off of, because the toys were made first by and large, they basically only had one female body type, and the result is you have these two characters with the exact same physical dimensions, and in this case even the same dang color scheme. Their voices and their personalities were distinct, but looking at them, it's like the same person in two different cosplays. Now here is the new shows, Catra and Scorpia. Oh my god, look at that. They're completely distinct from each other, and you can tell them by silhouette alone. So yeah, that sort of stuff is a big improvement. So
yeah, I just chucked that in there as an afterthought. So yeah, I agree with everything she said, and I wasn't just adding that in to pad out the runtime, I promise. Yeah, so back to the original footage. Is footage only for video? Would audio, back to the original audio, I suppose. Because, oh, actually, no, there will be footage after I'm done editing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really stalling, okay. And the animation, of course, was bloody gorgeous, like most modern animation is, but it was really good. It looked great. And that's about all I have to say. So, yeah, She-Ra Season 1. Good. Needs a bit more, though.